Welcome back to the Investing House. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I'm planning to track my dividends for 2023 and how I also did it for 2022. You're going to see a couple things in this video. You're going to see the spreadsheet that I use, and you can email me asking for the dividend spreadsheet for a free copy for yourself. My email is brian@theinvestinghouse.com. It's also down in the description. Email me for a free copy if you're interested in using it. Also, we'll be using a website called trackyourdividends.com. You can use the link down below in the description, or you can go ahead and Google it yourself. And we're also going to go over why it is important to track your progress with your dividends and reinvesting your dividends, and kind of the morale that it provides you by doing that. So before we get into everything, go ahead and like the video if you would, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and let's get into it. So this here is the spreadsheet that I used for all of 2022. This is my main account for my kids. All of my other accounts that I really use are for either my retirement or for doing options trading, kind of a early retirement funds. But this is my main dividend account is for my kids. I plan to use all the dividends when they get older to provide them and pay for all the activities that they're going to be doing that I think are essential for kids to grow up with. That being said, this is what I used to track all of my dividends. I started investing into their account $75 a week. After my initial deposit, which was in December, I believe, of 2021, and I had bought a whole bunch of QILD. That is why the January payment is so big. And then if you haven't seen my video on why I sold all my QILD, go ahead and watch that over here. And then I distributed all the funds from that into a bunch of other dividend paying S&P 500 stocks. And that is going to make up the basis of my portfolio for this spreadsheet. But that aside, this is the total that was paid was $273.39. I've got a little graph over here that you can use if you want. You don't have to. But this is really encouraging to me to make sure that I continue investing, because it's nice to see dividend growth, even though it's not linear. You can see that it is growing. But let's explore this spreadsheet real quick, and if you're interested in a copy, go ahead and email me. So right here, this is my yearly dividend tracker. So the green indicates projected income marked at the end of the month. So the important thing here is that at the end of the month is when I highlight my cell green, meaning that that month is done. And you're probably wondering where I get this number from, and that is where trackyourdividends.com comes into play. So I'm going to come up here, pull it up, so you can see I've got my 4 M1 Finance pulled up. Also, if you don't have M1 Finance and you're interested in signing up for M1 Finance, go ahead and use the description down below and fund your account. You can use it for Roth IRA and for a normal taxable brokerage account. I use it for both a taxable brokerage, and my Roth IRA. But if you want to do that and get $10 for free, you can use that link down below. But you can see up here, so you've got your portfolio yield right here, 6.4% for me. And yield on cost is 6.23. I do still own a little bit of QILD and JEPI, JEPI. Kind of trying to get a little bit higher dividend yield, but also I've got a bunch of other stuff that has a lot of growth with it. And so my annual income right now is $418 projected. It's not perfect. It does change sometimes when all the stocks change their dividend payments and yield, but that's the average right there, the projection 418, and that's the number that I grab and I put in here. So I'm making this video on the beginning of 2023, So December of 2022 is already done. So you can see all of 2022 is done, highlighted in green. And then we'll scroll down here to the month over month growth. So this is just going from, if you look at November of 2022 to December of 2022, there is growth, and that was a 10% growth. So 380 times 110%, 10% growth on that is 418, and that is where we get this 10%. And then it is pre-filled over here. You can see all the way up to 2030. Same thing with up here with the projection. Now I did this at my own discretion. So you can see I've got 7% over here, and then 6%, 5%, 4%, 3%, all the way down to 1%. So I can change that over here. All these numbers over here is what is driving all of these numbers here. You can look at the equations if you want. They are up here. All it's saying is that I'm taking the number above it, and then I'm doing a certain amount increase, which is for 2023 is a 7% month over month growth. Whether I hit that or not, I will be able to see that down here once I change all the numbers up here manually. But these are just auto-populated to a certain percent, which I dictate over here. I can do a little drop down and change these numbers to whatever I want. So you can see it changes the numbers over here, but it also changes the numbers down here. And I anticipate by 2030 a 1% month over month growth is going to be pretty good. So that's kind of my projections. So that's a percentage. And then the next one is kind of fun. You don't necessarily have to worry about this, but I did it to kind of see, like, if I got a raise through my dividend yield, that is what this is showing. So you can see a calculation over here. So this is based on a 40-hour work week. So over the course of a year, you're going to work 2,080 hours. So if my base salary was, say, $50,000, and then I got a raise of $1 on my salary, so $50,001, that equates to $0.00048 per hour. And so that is the math that goes behind the calculations out here. So right now, my kids are being paid in their account 20 cents an hour if they were to work 40 hours a week, which they're not because they're kids. But it goes on. So when they're in high school and junior high, elementary school, their wage is essentially gonna be $5, $6, $7, $8 an hour from just going to school, and it's just going to continue to grow for them based on all the other previous numbers up here. And then I have my dividend goal percentage over here. So I've got my dividend goal of $5,000 a year in dividends. At the end of 2022, we were at 8.36%, which is almost 10%. I'm going to try and get to 20% by the end of next year. So $1,000 a year. So that is how my spreadsheet works. If you're interested in getting it, go ahead and email me. Also, just a quick go over on Track Your Dividends. They have a premium version, which you can pay, I think, close to $100, and you link your accounts and it will auto import everything that you see here. And I don't use it because I like to manually do all this. It's kind of a guilty pleasure for me, but it is an option if you want to use it. Otherwise, you can come here and when you open your account, you'll be on the summary page, and you can add an account here, and then you go into your account, and then you can add all the different holdings. You'd come in here, put in your ticker symbol, how many shares you have, average cost per share. Your brokerage should show all that stuff pretty clearly for you, and then you just put it all in there, and it auto populates down here. And this is just my dividend account for my kids. It's nothing super fancy. Most of the stuff in here is either a ETF or they are individual stocks that are in the S&P 500 that when I added them, they had over a 3% dividend yield. You can see some of them have slowly dropped, but my yield on cost on most of them is over 3% because that's how they were when I bought them, and they have either appreciated or depreciated, but they're all doing pretty okay so far. But if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. Grab your free $10 for opening an account with M1 Finance, and until the next one, we'll take care.